Okay, so I figured I would check back in and show you guys what's going on, the reality of it all. It is 2:25. My eyes are burning out of my skull. It's crazy how strong those garlic is. Anyways, I prepped the chicken for supper. I got it in there. Hopefully it doesn't taste too garlicky. I put some of this, it's like a cattle boy sauce, barbecue. I was going to do Montreal steak spice, sort of forgot about it just because this was out my face, so I ended up using that. I did a video on the chili. I figured it was going to be a little bit long. It wasn't. It was under 5 minutes, but I'm going to get that up in a video by itself. I think it turned out looking pretty darn good, and it tastes pretty darn good, so I'm happy. I'm just going to let it simmer on the stove for a little while. I still have a half can of tomato sauce here, so what I might do is cut some of those sausages up, stick them in the tomato sauce, put it in the freezer, so that it's kind of like a spaghetti sauce ready to go, because there is one night that I have spaghetti written down, so there you go. I have to put the lettuce thing away. I didn't get to that. This has to go away. This can go away. I got my shepherd's pie almost assembled. Some people don't call it shepherd's pie. They call it whatever, cottage pie, I think. Not sure. Whatever. This has always been shepherd's pie to me. There's ground beef and onions down below. Usually you put cream corn, but cream corn is not gluten-free. And I don't have any, so I just went ahead with the 1 can of the corn that I bought yesterday at the dollar store, and it's a product of Canada, which makes me feel a little bit better about buying it. 50 cents a can. It did all this. Eventually, when I get some stuff cleaned up, I'm going to do some mashed potatoes. I'm going to do extra so that I can put some on here. Whatever we don't eat for supper, I was going to say I'd freeze them, but I don't even have any bags left, so I don't know what's going on there. Taco. I got 3 bags ready to go for taco. I just seasoned it up with this because I didn't, obviously, if you guys watched the video of how to make the chili, I didn't have any chili powder. I asked my mom if she didn't have any, but she had some taco seasoning, and I find it's kind of just hard on the stomach. I love this type of food, but it's very hard on my stomach. So I just went ahead and I put it in this big pot of chili instead of the meat for that, and I just used this spice. And it's good. It's not overspiced. It's just, I don't mind having my tacos with just plain hamburger. Neither does Riley. We're not fussy when it comes to that stuff. So I have 3 bags ready for the freezer. That will be 3 tacos on Taco Tuesday that we will be having. And of course, once you add the lettuce and the tomato and the cheese and all that stuff that you add to tacos, it goes a long way. So I'm going to get those in the oven. And there was a little bit of black beans left from my chili, so I grinded them up and I put them in here. So this is going to be a whole mixture of stuff. I'm going to do up some meatballs. First, what I'm going to do is the Salisbury steaks. Get those. I have to fry those, get them ready in some gravy, and then freeze them. And whatever's left is going to be meatballs. I've been trying to keep up with the dishes. I have a little bit of a sink full here to do. This is my pizza stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I took out the stuff to make the pizzas while I have the cheese. So what I'm going to do is once that thaws, I'm going to make out the pizza, put all the toppings on that I want, along with some cheese, and then I'm going to flash freeze them, and once they're froze, I should have done this from the beginning, but I figured I'm going to do it now because there is 4 days that we have pizza on the menu. So obviously one of them I'll probably, maybe towards the end, once we kind of stock back up on groceries in the middle of the month, will be when I make that other pizza. I only have 3 pizza doughs, but it's no big deal to whip up I can make a pizza dough with yeast. I can make it yeast free. I can do it on hamburger bun. I can do it on a regular piece of bread. It doesn't matter. We like pizza. So there you go. So as far as this goes, tonight we're having chicken, tomorrow we're having meatloaf. I've got all my fajitas prepped. I have all my tacos. Well, I say all of them. The last week, I may have to, when I go out shopping this week, I may have to buy some stuff to kind of get through this last week, but it's not a big deal. I more or less have all my fajitas, all my tacos. I'm going to have all my pizza prepped. So there you go. That is 3, 6, 9, 12 days out of the month that are already prepped. Shepherd's pie, I already have. I'm going to make that. Once I get the mashed potatoes, I'm just going to wrap it and put the whole dish in the freezer. And then when I want to make it, I'll take it out so that it comes to room temperature. And then I will put it in the oven. Stir fry, I'm not really doing anything for that. Burgers, they're already made. The macaroni, I didn't keep any ground beef for the macaroni, but if I need to pick up a pack of it just for macaroni, then I will. If not, I will just make some macaroni without it. Fajitas, tacos, there's chicken. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make that, and then there's that leftover sauce for that spaghetti. Chili, I'm sure we'll have chili before the 17th, but it'll be there ready, and I'm going to freeze them in little containers so that we have them. Fajitas, tacos, and then burgers in the freezer. Same with the stir fry from up here. We'll just kind of make it when it's time. There is the second thing of chicken that we're going to make. Macaroni, same deal. And then I put the 28th breakfast for supper. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to follow this list to a T or not. I might decide one night I feel like having breakfast. So I'll just switch up maybe here I'll have breakfast instead of macaroni. And then, obviously, I'm not going to have macaroni twice in 1 week, but we'll figure something out. That's not a big deal. So, I'm going to go get the sausage cut up, and this put together, and that in the freezer. And then I still have my lemon pie that I have to make. I have this to fix up. So, come into my little thing here. I did the hamburger. I didn't have chili written down or any of that, but I have the meat in the bag. I didn't end up doing that. I got my... Well, I'm going to work on my meatballs. Whoops. I got the shepherd's pie and the chili made. And I didn't have tacos written down here either. I'm not left-handed, so it's going to be a little bit messy. So tacos, boom, we got it. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and I'll be back. Alright, so this is what I decided to do with the ground beef. My eyes are burning from this, between the onions and the garlic. Oh, my eyes are burning. I don't have to stir that in a second, but anyways. Here I have the ground beef cooked for shepherd's pie. I just gotta put some corn, and I gotta make some mashed potatoes for the top of that. But I'm gonna wait, and whenever I make the mashed potatoes for supper, I'll just make extra instead of boiling the water twice. Or I might even try them in my Crock-Pot Express. I think you can do them in there, so I will see how that goes. I have a little bit of ground beef in here for my chili. I'm just waiting. I'm going to take a little bit more, put some in there, and then the rest of this ground beef is going to be for tacos. I'm just going to season it up with, I'm going to go next door and see if my mom's got some chili powder and stuff. And if she doesn't, I'm going to use this stuff here that I took the other day to make the chicken with, which is really, really good, so... there's a lot of fat on this, so I had to drain all that out whenever it's done. Like I said, I might just add another spoonful or two in to the chili, and then I'll cook that, and I'll do a separate video on how I do that, just to show you guys, because like I said, I got the recipe off my friend Michelle, so I'll link her blog, her vlog, and all that stuff. Anyways, and then in this big bowl over here, I just put a little bit of parsley and some dried onions for now. Is going to be meatballs and probably a meal of Salisbury steaks. I'll probably make up maybe like six small Salisbury steaks, and the rest I will do for meatballs. So I'll have some meatballs, Salisbury steaks, 3 things of tacos, chili, and a shepherd's pie with all of the ground beef that I had. And I'm taking the lazy way out. Usually I chop my onions, but my eyes are like seriously burning so bad from the garlic, so I'm doing them in here. Whenever the ground beef is done cooking, I'm going to put the onions in there and just kind of fry them up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit to my chili, a little bit to the shepherd's pie, and then I'm going to grind some more up raw, put them in here, and then I think I'm just going to put when I roll up the meatballs, instead of cooking them in here, I think I'll put them in the oven and just cook them in the oven. Save myself the time from that. And I had written down here, there's going to be one night on my board for shepherd's pie. I have to make chili. There's meatballs. I was going to do meat in a bag, but I decided I don't even have enough bags. I have 3 bags left, and that's going for tacos. And then I'm going to make some Salisbury steaks and have to individually wrap those, or actually I'm going to put them in a container because they're going to be gravy. So I'll get that all ready and the meals will be done. So I'm kind of prepping but freezer prepping at the same time. So I'm going to go get this cooked up. Then I got to run next door and see if my mom has any chili powder. And then I'll be back. Okay, so I just wanted to take a picture. So I got 50 meatballs out of there. I am gonna wait because I want to put those into the oven, and I may take the garlic out and put them in, and then I'll see. The chili is done. The boys tried it. They loved it, so really good recipe. They wanted some for supper, but I was like, I kind of got potatoes here which aren't cooked yet. I will turn those on in about 10-15 minutes because it's only 20 after 3 right now, but we are going to have an earlier supper. So I've got potatoes, the chicken is in the oven, and I'm going to just do some corn because it's easy peasy. It's just a matter of opening a can or two, and that's what we're going to have for supper. I told them after they ate that, if they're still hungry, they can have a bowl of chili. So I also ended up with 6 Salisbury steaks. So what I think I'm going to do here is cook these up, make the gravy for it, and I think I'll freeze them 3 and 3. And then that way there we'll each have a meal of a Salisbury steak each, because we don't have to eat 2 at a time. And yeah, there won't be leftovers when we have it, but it'll still be a delicious meal nonetheless. So, I keep adding stuff to my list and crossing it off just so that I have an idea later because I like to write on my Facebook status just what I kind of did during the day when it comes to stuff like this. So, the dishes, I'm going to leave it there just because I'm going to cross it off once I'm all done cooking and the dishes are actually completed. The only thing that's dirty is this. These have to be rinsed. This has to be dumped outside. These have to be put away, and the bag has the pizza in it, which is another thing that I have to write down. Excuse my writing, I am not left-handed. Pizzas times 3. So we had breakfast, I did the garlic, I did the rice, did the laundry, did the chili, had lunch. Supper, eventually I'm going to cross that off shortly once I get the potatoes and that going, then because, supper will be done. I separated the hamburger, I separated the chicken, I made 3 things for tacos, 1 spaghetti sauce, which I just added some basil, a little bit of tomato juice, just a random spaghetti sauce. I cut up some bits of sausage and threw those in, and I kept 3 sausages because I think I have 3 English muffins left to make 3. The boys will probably have a McMuffin for breakfast tomorrow, so that'll take care of 2 of them. Or maybe I'll give them some cereal. We'll wait and see. If not, those will be 3 breakfasts for this week that Riley can have. Shepherd's pie is pretty well done. I just didn't cross it off yet because I'm going to wait on those mashed potatoes to cross that off. I made 50 meatballs, 6 Salisbury steaks, and I got to make the meatballs are done. I just got to cook them. The Salisbury steaks are done. I just got to cook them and cross that off there. So pretty much, I did everything that I had to do with the hamburger. The only things left, like other than the cleaning dishes and the floors, is the vegetable tray and the lemon pie and the pizzas. But the pizzas, I'm waiting on the crust to thaw, so I'm going to go ahead and get some of this mess cleaned up and then once everything's cooked and I can, you know, the mashed potatoes are cooked and I can get that in the freezer and these are in the oven, you know, and then this, I just turned it off. I was leaving it simmer for a while, but it's getting very like liquidy, so everything's pretty well cooked inside of it anyways. I just left it on for a bit. I want to let that cool down, jar that up, wash that up, and then eventually my kitchen will be nice and clean. I will show you guys that later. Hopefully this video isn't too long. If it is, I apologize. Jay made a fresh pot of coffee, which I think I'm going to have a nice cup of, because I only had, I think, a cup of coffee this morning. So, I still have vegetables to prep. My lemon's there for my lemon pie. I'm hoping to get 2 pies out of there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, I'll be check back in a little bit. So this is what it looks like. Potatoes, chicken, corn. This is Jay's plate. The kids got theirs. My chicken is there. And I'm going to take a little bit of potatoes in a bit. And there's going to be a little bit of potatoes left over, but that's it. I got my shepherd, and I'll have a little bit of corn. I'm just more or less eating leftovers. Whatever's left. Shepherd's pie is ready. Just letting it cool down completely before I wrap it and stick that in the fridge. And there's this here. Meatballs, chili, Salisbury steaks. I ended up putting them all in there. I might put 3 in here. I don't know. I was just figuring if I put it all there, then at least they'll have like leftovers if we have it. Alright guys, this is my supper. I just put it in a bowl and I put a little bit of that gravy on top of it. Let me tell you, it feels good to sit down. It is 4:45. I've been in the kitchen since, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I sat down for maybe 10 minutes at lunch, ate that sub, and then I was right back in the kitchen. And it's not like I've been dawdling. I've been working my butt off. So it feels good to sit down and just have 5 minutes to myself. I want to eat my supper. I have a crap ton of dishes to do. Like, crap ton. And they just all appeared because obviously I had the chili in one pot, I had a big pot with potatoes in it, and then I had one big frying pan that had all that gravy, and then it was kind of too full, so I took the gravy and had to put it into another thing. And I think the video clip before this one actually got cut off a little ways. So I'm gonna have to go back and see where I cut off and all that fun stuff because I ran out of space. My phone is at 18%. I had to plug it in. You guys are plugged in now. Running out of space. Trying to put the videos up on YouTube as I get them so that I can just make a video of them later on. But it's just, I'm exhausted. I'm starting to get exhausted. I know you're just looking at my food. Just picture having a bite of it. It's really good. So I'm going to eat. Take 5 minutes to myself because you know when you stand on your feet and your heels like burn? I'm getting that, so it's not fun. I'm going to just relax for maybe a half an hour. Eat my supper. And then I am going to do up I'm going to do up the dishes. I don't even know if I'm going to do up a veggie tray because, like I was saying earlier, I only have celery and carrots. So I might just prep the celery, put it in a bag, and take it out as I need it. So I think that's the plan. So I'm going to get that done, which won't take me long. And then I'm going to get that lemon pie done. So maybe later on tonight I'll be able to sit down and have a nice piece of lemon pie to finish this day off. I know at some point I am going for a bath to soak my legs and my feet and my back, but that won't be till later on tonight. So I'm going to quit rambling and I'm going to go eat my supper, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Alright, so a quick check-in. It is 5 minutes to 6. I got my dishes done up. Here is just a little bowl with some spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce thawing. I have 2 other pizza crusts in there. So basically what I'm going to do is do out the pizza, put the sauce, put the pepperoni, put some onions, put some cheese, stick it in the freezer, let it freeze, and then work on the other one. And then once they're frozen, I could even probably put them in on this so they don't get broke. And then just wrap the whole thing, because I don't really use the pizza pans all that much. So I think that's maybe what I'll do. I could even actually, what I think I might do is use the little square one, the little rectangle one, and put my pizza in there and just make a rectangle pizza. It's not a big deal. And then I can freeze that whole thing, and then, I don't know, I'll figure it out anyways, because I could probably, the other one I think is, I don't know, I'm going to figure it out, make up the pre-made pizzas. I got all this stuff fixed up. I got the gravy and the meatballs and the chili and all that stuff all ready for the freezer. There's a little bit of potatoes left from supper, which I'm just going to put in a little container, and tomorrow somebody can eat that up with some kind of meal. Soak this, wash it, get that put all away. Before I go to bed tonight, I will put all those dishes away, because I don't feel like waking up to them. Jay's in the process of making a fresh pot of coffee right now. The boys are in playing. I got my celery cut up, washed, so I was able to check the veggie tray off of my list. I already have the carrots cut up. I didn't bother cutting up the bag that I bought because there was already 2 little bags in the fridge of carrots, so I'm just going to leave those in there whole, and if we need carrots. Plus, I had bought some carrots not that long ago and cut them all up and threw them in the freezer. So, if I get a random day where I've got nothing to do, I'll just do the same, freeze them in water, and then I can pop them out and heat them up, and they're good. They don't get frostbite or any of that stuff. So, I think I'm just gonna let these kind of dry a little bit, and I might actually just store them in this little container. Keep it fresh that way. They'll probably get eaten up quick enough anyways. And then I am moving on to that lemon pie that I've been talking about all day. So I am craving lemon pie. I can't wait to sit down later to have a piece of lemon pie. So that is my next project. No doubts, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Filled up my flour machine. I've did little odds and ends here that I didn't really vlog or talk about, or I can't really think of right now, but I know there's been things. I've been go all day, so I don't know how many loads of dishes I did. Absolutely crazy, but then I have my pine sol waiting for me to do up the floors later. I still have my garlic. I love it. It's so pretty. I gotta put my garlic in the fridge. Isn't it pretty? And then once the garlic's all gone, the oil will be infused with garlic, so I can use that to cook as well, so it won't go to waste. So I pretty well got everything knocked off of, we got supper. I did the dishes. I'm working on the pizzas right now, so I'll have that crossed off in a few minutes. And then there's just the floors and the lemon pie to do. So obviously the floors are going to be completely last. But I was able to complete my list for today, which is awesome. Feels good. I have these 2 containers. I was going to put rice in them, but I had to put them away. But so I'm going to go work on the pizzas and the pies, and I'll show you guys when they're done. Okay, so now I'm working on my lemon meringue pie. I decided I was going to do the lemon pie, get it in the oven, and then that way there, because I had taken it out a little while ago and opened that a few times just so it's not going to smell like garlic. And then once the pies are done, I can take them out, put the garlic back in, and then work on the last but not least, the pizzas. Just one second, I have to sneeze. Okay, so, the lemon pie filling, because I've got the crusts there that I'm going to use. I doubled the batch, but I'll tell you the actual measurements. There's 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, like I said, I doubled mine. You just kind of mix that all together, get that all incorporated together. Then you're going to add 1.5 cups of water, 2 lemons juiced and zested. And then you're going to stir that, cook that over medium until it comes to a boil, and then you're going to stir in 2 tablespoons of butter. I'll show you guys the recipe here. It's written real fast, real messy, so. And then you're also going to take 4 egg yolks, and you're going to beat them. So basically in a saucepan, whisk the first 4 ingredients, stir in the water, the lemon juice, and the zest, cook over medium, stir often until it comes to a boil, then stir in the butter. Then you're going to, basically the egg yolks that you had beaten, you're going to take a little bit of this hot mixture and add it to the eggs just so that they don't like scramble, I guess, or cook as you do it. And then once you get about 1/2 cup in there, then you can add your eggs into this mixture. You're going to whisk all that together real good, put it on medium heat and bring it to a boil. Then you stir it until it becomes thick. You remove it, and then you're going to place it into your pie shells. You're going to bake it in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't know what that was, but I got my lemons here. I went over to my mom's because I don't have the proper... I used to use like the cheese grater, and it just doesn't work because of the, I don't know, the waxiness of the lemon peel. So she lent me this little tool that basically does all that for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these lemons juiced, and I have a juicer machine here. Get that all juiced up real good. Well, first I'm gonna zest it, then I'll juice it. Get my pie ready because I can't wait to have a piece of that, and then move on with everything else. Alright, so it's 8 o'clock at night. I just got the dishes done up. There's just a couple of them there that need to be put away in the morning. Not really concerned about it right now. My feet are killing me. I was going to grind up the garlic. Obviously it turned a little brown. Don't touch that. It's for my pizza. I'm just going to leave. I turned it off. I'm going to leave that sit in the oven all night just to finish drying out. And I will grind that up in the morning. Got my 2 lemon pies here. And I have my last pizza in the oven. Not in the oven, in the freezer, kind of freezing into like a rectangle. When it's done, I had piled the other 2 because they're frozen solid. When that one's froze, I will pile it on top of the other 2. And then I will just wrap the whole pan and just leave that in the freezer like that so that the pizzas don't get broken. And although it was a lot of work today, it saves me a lot of work this month having to make a bunch of meals. I did a ton of dishes today. The only thing that I did not do on this whole list was the floors. I may decide to do them in a little bit, but for now I'm going to sit down, probably have a piece of lemon pie, and get this video together. So that is the end of today's In the Kitchen with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.